go, and then feather in a little more as the slope increases.
How does this look for approach?
I'd come over to the left just a touch. There we go. And now we can start to make it
Straighten
more
it up a
aggressive.
bit.
Right, exactly. So we're thinking about where the right rear tire is, so we're kind of dragging. There we go. There we are. There we go. So we can't see
visibility is pretty
Yep,
bad.
exactly. So any other time and anywhere else in the world, we should get out
and check the vehicle.
Exactly, but we're going to assume that it's fine here.
Okay.
So let's go into first gear as we've got a downhill. So just slide that over to the left. There we are. And we'll ride the brake from this point forward just to maintain control so we can position the vehicle where we want it to be. Ahead we can see there is a trail. It must be between this large tree on the left
So it looks
and the
like a
skinny
little bit
tree.
to the left.
Of where we are, just a hair to the left. So a little more to the left. There we go. Heavier on the brake. So come over to the left a little more because there's a big burl of wood that sticks out. That's plenty. There you go. So much smaller corrections with the steering wheel. There you go. Go ahead and straighten out. And now go ahead and come off the brake altogether. A little bit to the left. There we go. That's plenty. So that burl of wood was what we're trying to avoid there. So again, we want to make sure that we get closer on the side that we can see of the vehicle.
Okay.
There we go. So now we'll go into drive. So no need to come to a stop. You can do that
Just
on the move.
Okay.
Yep. And now we'll continue up over to the right. So just a little bit of throttle to keep us going here. And for the most part, as we're coming in between these trees, really we don't need to turn left and right so much. If we're well centered in the trail, we've got plenty of distance on both sides.
All right.
There you go. A little more throttle. Stay with it. And a little bit back to your left. There you go, because we've got this tree that would make a perfect ramp if we're not careful for our right rear tire. And now we can start our right-hand turn. There you go. A little more to the right. There we are. And again, let's assume we've already gotten out of the vehicle and determined this appropriate trail.
S1 here for
Correct.
downhill.
Yep. We'll ride the brake a little bit at the top. It allows us to maintain better control until we come away from the brake. And now that you're ready, go ahead and come all the way off the brake pedal. And this way the vehicle will just carry us down the hill at a nice, slow, controlled pace, minimizing the opportunity to lock up the wheels.
Excellent.
There we go. And then up ahead, we can see that there's a tree that is pretty well angled in over the trail.
Yes.
However, there's enough room to clear underneath that, so we don't want to steer away from it too far. We just really want to stay on the trail.
Okay.
So it's a little bit of an optical illusion. It is very close,
Yeah, it looks.
but it looks even closer than it really is. There you go. Go ahead and straighten out. That's plenty. No need for the brake. Off the brake. And simply by using the brake there, we increase the likelihood that a slide will occur.
That must
a little
have
more
put
to the
the
left.
traction.
Yep.
Spot some cones.
Yeah, so this is set up for a team building event that we have a blindfolded drive.
Sounds like a bit of a challenge.
Oh yeah. So just a little bit to the left, as we again want to make sure we stay on the trail. As soon as we start getting into these leaves, we don't know the moisture content, and it can very quickly just pull us further down the hill.
So you want to be close on the side that we can see.
Exactly.
All right.
So now we have a rather big hole that we can go through. So we have a side tilt leading up to it.
Okay.
Taking a look at the placement of the obstacles, it's imperative that we get high enough up to the left in order to place the vehicle in the
Squarely
center.
into the hole, yeah.
Precisely, otherwise we're going to shave off the body panels on one side or the other. So we're going to ride the brake all the way through down into the hole because it is such a significant drop-off. We want minimal suspension compression. And then as we start climbing our way out of the hole, we have to turn a little bit to the right, because I don't know if you can see, there's two little moguls just on the far side of the hole.
Yeah.
The second one is a bit taller than the first and could cause us to high center.
Okay.
So we want to put our left tire on our left tires on the highest point of that second one in order to avoid high centering. So we'll stay in first at this point. So go ahead and come over to first, and then you're ready, we'll come forward a little bit more to your left. There we go. That's good. Let's just kind of see where we are from here. And now a little bit more to the left. And now go ahead and straighten out. There we go. There we are. So come to the right just a touch. That's all we need. Heavy on the brake here. Yep, stop here. So you're starting to turn uphill. So as we turn uphill, we're increasing the likelihood that we're going to lose traction. Because if you look, we have, two ends, rolling ends of the vehicle that's they're constantly...
They're going to be off the...
Well, what's going to happen if you start turning uphill, you make this end of the tire, you make it easier for it to roll down the hill because it's pointing in that direction. So tires really only want to do one thing at a time. They either want to pull or turn, which is why, in driver's manuals they tell you to brake before you enter to the turn. Same concept here. If we continue to turn uphill, we'll induce understeer and we'll slide towards the right.
All right.
As opposed to if we keep our wheels nice and straight here, we have a better chance of actually holding our position and not sliding, because we get a little bit of tension from the sidewall making contact with the ground. So it's counterintuitive, but it works. So heavy on the brake, keep the steering wheel just as it is, both hands on the wheel, heavy on the brake, a little heavier on the brake. There we go. Nice and slowly. Straighten out the wheel again, heavy on the brake. So straighten out the wheel. There we go. And now into drive, and very gently ease into the throttle. And I'd like it to come over to the right a little bit. There you go. And now straighten out the wheel and keep that nice and straight. So we're aiming towards that mossy covered tree.
Okay.
So you're turning a little bit, so try and keep the wheel straight again despite what you feel in the steering column. There you go. Good. Nice.